The scene starts with two friends at a grocery store fighting over a shirt, claiming one of them stole the other's shirt. The whole scenery of the movie is dystopian Korea, where there is no law and order in the city. The two friends, known as Ki-hoon and Jang-ho, are waiting for their friend, Jun-seok, to come out of jail, and when he does, they celebrate his coming back with drinks in a club. They prompt him to tell them something he wanted to tell them, to which he replies that he befriended a drug dealer who smuggles goods from Taiwan. He explains it to be just like Hawaii with a gleaming ocean and bright sun, further explaining that if he can help the man, he can get settled there. The man further explains that the person he met in jail has promised him a shop for $200,000 with a cinematic beach house. He coaxes his friends into the scheme by giving them dreams of a fresh start away from dystopian Korea. The friends, who are reluctant to do so because of the dream being so surreal. The three friends are shown to have a good time drinking and joking around with each other. Later on, they're driving back in a car, talking about how Korea is not a place to live anywhere, with an excess of drugs and guns. The man who just came out of jail asks about some money he had stashed, but his two friends explain the detrimental situation of the country, stating that Korean won has devalued and currency exchanges are not allowed anymore. They barely have $2,000 now. The city is then shown to be plagued with darkness and homeless people lying around the streets with shattered high buildings. The three friends arrive to a familiar area and reminisce about the good days where there wasn't horrible graffiti everywhere. They open the door to a shop that they call their own and walk around. Jun-seok expresses his desire to live in a warm place, because his deceased mom promised to take him to Hawaii. At night, they head to a secret place with top security. Turns out it's a secret casino of some sort. They have come here to win some money. At the casino, they meet someone who stole their money and order him to get them $10,000, but he refuses, saying it's impossible. They give him 2 days, and he pleads for a month but to no avail. Jun-seok then offers to use the debtor, who is also their old friend named Sang-soo, and points towards the gambling house, meaning that he plans on doing a money heist. Ki-hoon disapproves of the idea, saying the place is run by gangsters, to which Jun-seok replies lightly. Jun-seok claims he knows a rifle dealer from jail and can need the proper equipment to initiate a heist, but his friends tell him he's being unreasonable. Jun-seok confesses that he has been planning this for a long time, and that his friends should trust him one last time and do this. The two friends talk about whether they should help Jun-seok or not, and Jang-ho says he will because they owe Jun-seok. Ki-hoon tries to convince him that it's not safe at all, but Jang-ho reminds him that they have nothing anyways. All their savings are gone and there is no future for them. If they continue like this, all they will be bottom dwellers. Ki-hoon finally agrees and they set out, studying the map and noting camera positions. They make an elaborate, foolproof plan. They conclude that they will have only 5 minutes to get in and out of the gambling house. Jun-seok takes his partners to someone he knows, who hands them bulletproof vests and armor. The man warns Jun-seok about the dangers of the outside world. Jun-seok teaches Jang-ho how to use a gun and they train by shooting a target. They also have fun with it by taking pictures together. Back at the gambling house, Sang-soo is sweeping and witnesses men in black suits. No one knows who they are, but it makes him nervous seeing them. The four friends finally initiate their plan, running along the stairs to the back of the house. They each load guns and get clad in black masks so they won't be recognized. They shoot the lock nervously and enter, screaming at all the customers to get down. One of the employees rings the alarm and notifies the authority in charge, while Jun-seok orders an employee to open the safe. The employee quickly puts all the cash in the bag and they begin to flee from the scene. One of the guards tells Ki-hoon that he's an amateur and that he's already dead. While fleeing, they see men in black vans arrive and take a detour, escaping. They get in the car and drive as fast as they can, thinking that they have escaped. After successfully fleeing from the scene, they celebrate their victory, not knowing what will come next. The scene changes to a warehouse, where the person in charge of the gang that leads the gambling house kills one of his men for being incompetent. He gets a call where he finds out that the thieves have taken some money, but their main worry are the security footage tapes that Hae have stole, saying that the camera files have information on VIP clients and they're laundering data too. In the morning, it shows the three friends leaving. Blonde one sees them off. Ki-hoon comes to meet his father and drags him out of a protest. His happy-go-lucky father meets him with a smile on his face. The friends have dinner with Ki-hoon's family and witness a loving scene between a mother and her son. The arms dealer back in the city gets a visitor from a man who asks if he sold any guns lately, to which the dealer says no. Back in the countryside where Ki-hoon's parents reside, Jun-seok and Ki-hoon have dreams about the glistening blue water of Taiwan. The man who is looking for the boys returns to the arms dealer's shop and shoots the two employees there with no remorse. Jun-seok gets called the arms dealer, asking where he's going and from where. He claims to want to visit him, but Jun-seok suspects something ominous. The dangerous man who is after the robbers blows up the first floor of Jun-seok's shop. Sang-soo gets a call from Jun-seok, who tells him to be careful. It seems as if Jun-seok is bothered. Back at the gambling house, Sang-soo suspects the security guards are following him. His co-worker verbally tells him that the security guards know he was in on the heist, and he sneaks to the bathroom. From the bathroom, he runs away. In the countryside, Jun-seok and Jang-ho witness Ki-hoon saying goodbye to his family from afar. Jang-ho asks how it feels like to have a family, and sighs about how he's always been alone. Jun-seok assures him that Ki-hoon and him are his family. Sang-soo runs back to where Jun-seok's shop is and checks for his part of the money, grabs the gun left by the three friends and gets ready. However, he realizes someone is already at the shop. Jun-seok has a nightmare where Sang-soo dies and he wakes up with a jolt. He calls his phone but no one answers. He finally gets a call from Sang-soo, but when he answers, no one speaks. He notices someone sitting across the bar from him, whose phone rings as soon as he calls Sang-soo. Jun-seok rushes back to the hotel room they're staying at, tells them they have to leave to get the guns. They go to the parking lot where their car is along with their guns and wear their vests. Weirdly, the car does not work. Jang-ho tries to get another car started while the two provide cover. They get lost in the parking lot while trying to find the exit and see a man walking towards them. Regardless, Jun-seok tells Jang-ho to drive, but Jang-ho gets shot in the chest. The car crashes into another and stops. The man who shot at the car breaks the car mirror and tells Jun-seok to get out. He almost shoots him in the head, but after seeing Jun-seok accept death, he pulls away and gives him 5 minutes to escape. They drive Jang-ho to the hospital where the bullet is removed from his body. When Jun-seok says they have to leave, Kai-hoon refuses and says Jang-ho needs to rest. They plan to leave in the morning. In Jun-seok's dream, Sang-soo appears and tells him to wake up. He jerks awake and peers down the window to see a suspicious black car park. The dangerous killer is back to eliminate them. Upon entering the room they were staying at, he finds it empty. He rings Jun-seok's phone and follows the sound from where it is coming from to find the room empty. The three friends quietly sneak out from the hospital and get into the elevator, where the man finds and shoots at them, but they manage to barely escape after the man shoots their elevator from above. The killer watches from above as the three of them get into his car and drive off. Jang-ho notices the police logo in the car. It turns out the car is actually a police cruiser. This further stresses them out because now they think they have the police involved. The killer calls Jun-seok and expresses his interest in him. Jun-seok asks him why he's doing this and days he'll turn himself over to the police. The killer tells him the police will not be able to do anything, that the world is a different place now. At the hospital, the police arrive and take the killer away. But in the middle of the road, one of the policemen stops his car and lets the man go, saying it's an order from the higher-ups. The friends drive until morning and reach an area plagued with poverty and hungry people. Jun-seok reaches the meeting place where he was supposed to meet the man who will help them reach Taiwan, but he says he'll reach there by dawn. They take refuge in an abandoned building the man said has a secret stash. He claims that they're safe there. Inside the room, Kai-hoon says he cannot go with them because of his parents. In another scene, it shows the funeral of the arms dealer. The killer, identified as Han, is being tracked by the arm dealer's twin brother. Kai-hoon calls his mom and worries if something has happened to her. He tells her to stay put and that he is coming to her. He runs into Jun-seok and hugs him goodbye. During late evening, Jang-ho hears a sound outside the door and calls out to Jun-seok. Jun-seok, who is walking back to the building, sees a black car parked. He rushes over to Jang-ho to see him not there. Jun-seok looks for him all over the building but does not find him. While walking, he comes across a broken mirror and sees Han behind him. Barely dodging a bullet, he lunges into a room. He hears Jang-ho call out to him and tells him to stay put. Han walks closer to the door and shoots at a mannequin thrown by Jun-seok. Jun-seok rushes out the room and shoots at Han. Jun-seok runs down the stairs to the exit. Jang-ho helps him get through a window and they both run to the car. Jang-ho tries to get the car started but Han has already reached them, shooting at their car. They sneak out of the car and hide behind an abandoned truck. Peeking through to see where Han is, they both get ready to fight. Jun-seok runs to the other car and avoids getting shot. Both him and Jang-ho shoot at Han, who dodges. They wait for Han to appear from the corner and bombard him with bullets, but he manages to hide once again. Han appears again, and this time him and Jun-seok have a shoot-off. Unfortunately, Jun-seok gets shot. Seeing this, Jang-ho jumps out and begins to shoot Han, who shoots him and kills him off. Livid and already shot it, Jun-seok rains bullets on Han, who gets hit by one of them and hides. Jun-seok takes a bleeding Jang-ho into a building. Jang-ho says he's not lonely anymore and that he wants to be alone now. Jun-seok looks out to see a taunting Han smoking a cigarette. Turning back to Jang-ho, he realizes that his friend has died. Now with newfound strength and a desire for revenge, Jun-seok walks out and begins to shoot Han in plain sight, who ducks and runs. Han aims and shoots at Jun-seok and hits him once again. Walking closer, he almost lands a final blow but is stopped by a headlight. The twin brother of the arms dealer arrives with several men. All of them shoot at Han, who shoots back while running. After getting shot 5 times, Han trudges out and meets his end, falling into the sea. The next scene shows Jun-seok on a ship, reminiscing about his friends. He reaches Taiwan, owns a house, but is alone now. He remembers the promise he made to Jang-ho, that he would leave for Taiwan no matter what. Sitting on the beach, Jun-seok's friend hands him a paper with names of people working for the gambling house. He finds out that Han, whose real name is Lee Yi-sin, is still alive, but even that is not certain. Jun-seok is fixing a bicycle in a shop, surprised by the entrance of Kai-hoon, who smiles down at him. However, Jun-seok is only imagining this happy scene. The ending scene shows Jun-seok going back to face Han once again. Like and subscribe to end recaps for more mystery and thriller movies like this.